Earlier this year, I moved cities. I had to pack all of my stuff into 2 suitcases. I remember looking around my room feeling like this is just an impossible task because obviously I have way more stuff than can fit 2 suitcases. But at the same time, I had this sudden feeling that a lot of the stuff I owned were really not that important to me. I could count with my 2 hands the stuff that were truly precious and important to me, things like my computer, my paint set, my piano, the jewelries that my mom gave me, and the rest I could totally donate a huge portion to the charity without feeling sad. It's often in these moments where we're trying to move or uproot our lives that we come to realize how much unnecessary junk we've all accumulated. Things that our lives don't depend on or that we don't even like that much, but we'd feel super guilty to get rid of because of how much money we paid for them or just how long they've been in our lives. I realized the only way to resolve this situation is to start buying less stuff and to accumulate as little as possible. So here are 6 categories of things that I think all of us should try to buy less of. The first category of things is clothes and shoes. If you're watching this, you probably have more than enough clothes. If you open up your closet, maybe ask yourself, how many of these clothes do you actually enjoy wearing? How many of them actually make you feel good or you would wear them to an important event? I know so many people who have a full closet of clothes but only 1 or 2 pieces that they truly like. I've also heard of other bad clothing shopping habits such as buying duplicates, buying tons of clothes of the same category, buying so many clothes to the point that they don't even need to wear them anymore and they never even take the tags off, buying clothes that don't fit your body or style, or just buying low quality clothes that you don't actually want to wear once you take them home. The truth is that you really don't need that many clothes. There's been a lot of people doing experiments where they show that they only wear 33 pieces of clothing for like a whole season or a year. And I personally know one of my most stylish friends only goes out to shop for 1 outfit per year, yet she's able to remain super polished and in style every time I see her. It's the same thing with shoes. This is something I personally struggle with because I think I have too many shoes, a lot more than I need. And my boyfriend, for example, only has 2 pairs of shoes for the entire year round, and he never seems to really need another pair. I think it's really tempting because all of us have this desire to look nice and polished, and new clothes and shoes are the best way to kind of package and represent us to the outside world. But I just think that you ultimately don't need too many sets of clothes to look nice. There will also always be stylish clothes and shoes in the shops, so you don't have to feel obligated to buy all of them now. The next category is makeup and beauty products. I think we really need to minimize buying stuff in this category as much as possible because technically you probably need 0 products in this category. Heavy makeup and skincare is not only filled with so many toxic chemicals that are bad for your skin and your health, but they're also just a hassle to wear. They don't always make you look better, and instead, a lot of times they just look super fake and unattractive. Plus, the bare skin look is in right now, so I would just take this opportunity to declutter all of the primers, foundations, and whatnot, and get used to your bare, clean skin. Of course, I totally understand that there are people who simply enjoy wearing makeup because it can be fun. In that case, I still think a moderate amount is enough. You really don't need to spend too much money or time on it, and a little bit goes a long way. The next category is kitchen items. So that includes things like small tools, kitchen appliances, and dining ware. Obviously, you need this category of stuff, but again, I don't think you need as much as you think. Small kitchen appliances and tools take up so much counter and storage space in the kitchen, and people buy way more of them than they really need. How many people do you know who own like 3 different coffee makers, mixers, blenders, juicers, soda machines, bread makers, 2 different types of toasters without even using any of them and just end up storing them in the back of their pantry? I have to say, these things are very fun to look at and purchase, but at the same time, they are a hassle to use and to keep. We cook most of our meals at home and we have these 2 pans and that pot and a rice cooker, and that's about all we'll need. It suffices for all of our cooking. These are our utensils. As you can see, we have some empty spaces still, and we use mostly chopsticks and spoons, and we don't really need anything else. We also try to only leave out the essential appliances so that it's a good balance between cleanliness and convenience. That way we also have enough space for food prep and cooking. Furnitures and home decors. So of course, furniture is necessary for any home, unless if you're an extreme minimalist. But we have to remember that furniture takes up the most amount of space in your home. So when there are too many of them, it can make your space feel super cluttered. Just imagine how much extra space you'd have in your home, or how much bigger it would feel if you just have even one less piece of furniture. It's the same thing with home decors. Sometimes a little bit goes a long way, but instead, when you have too many decors, your eyes literally don't know where to look at, or you simply can't properly display them. You might think that you have to display all of your little trinkets and souvenirs from every trip that you've been on, but what ends up happening is that they take up all of your empty surface spaces, making your home and your mind feel more messy. Junk foods. So this category of stuff literally has the word junk in it to remind you of how worthless they are. Whether it's chips, cookies, crackers, chocolate, ice cream, basically all of the packaged snacks in your pantry, they take up so much space, are super easy to accumulate in your pantry, and they also expire. And of course, you don't need me to tell you that these things are all heavily processed, filled with food preservatives, coloring, and artificial flavors, and are basically super bad for your body. So technically, again, this is a category where you need 0 items. Unfortunately, I again fall prey to this category myself. So I'm actually a big snack lover myself. Like, I think life is just more fun with some snacks and desserts once in a while. But I limit the amount of snacks I keep. So I'll usually just keep like 1 to 2 snacks at home, and I don't buy new ones until I finish them. So right now, since the weather is getting warmer, we got this chocolate ice cream. It looks really good. We haven't tried it yet, but that's about all we'll keep. And then once we finish that, we'll buy something else to try. Books. This is a very controversial category. I totally understand the joy in being able to read a good book, to be in full conversation with the author, or to learn something new. And I personally really enjoy reading books, especially nonfiction, mangas, art books, and young adult fictions. But if I were to buy and keep all of the things I read, especially like manga volumes, then my entire living room would not be enough space for my books. So I definitely don't recommend buying and keeping every book you like. Books are super expensive, heavy, and difficult to transport, and instead try only buying and keeping books that you truly cherish and you feel like you'll definitely need them or read them again in the future. Many times we have a habit of purchasing things not because we need them or really even like them, but just because we're addicted to the feeling of desire or that sense of satisfaction at the point of purchase. So I think from time to time, it's so important to be honest with yourself how much of the stuff you own or you bought are actually worthless junk. You can pretend to be a very critical friend or family member, reminding you that not all you own is truly important. Being someone who moves very often, I could also tell you that having less in your life will definitely make your life feel lighter. I can promise you, buying less won't detract anything from your life. Instead, it can actually upgrade your life. I hope you found this discussion interesting. Thank you so much for watching today, and as usual, I wish you a peaceful rest of the day. Bye.